Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Well, I'm back from my retirement. Didn't last for very long, but I'm only back because it's Flannery O'Connor's birthday. Or it was Flannery O'Connor's birthday, yesterday, March 25th. Flannery O'Connor turned 100, or would have turned 100. She was born March 25th, 1925, and I wanted to do something on the day to celebrate, but I had already uploaded 2 videos that day, and it would be crazy to upload more than 2 videos a day. I don't know what kind of madman would upload 3 or more videos in a day, but regardless, I took the evening to reread one of my favorite Flannery O'Connor novels, and that was The Violent Bear It Away, and I thought I'd talk about it today. I reread The Violent Bear It Away because I was poking around the internet, and it looks like her other novel, Wise Blood, gets a lot more love and attention than The Violent Bear It Away does. So I wanted to make a quick little PSA and say that The Violent Bear It Away is also a great novel of hers, but obviously her main claim to fame is her short stories, and particularly her most enduring short story, which is A Good Man Is Hard to Find. Which is how I found my way to Flannery O'Connor as well. I was taking a class, an English class, freshman year of college. That short story was on the syllabus. At the time, I had never heard of Flannery O'Connor before. I read it, was absolutely blown away by it. I absolutely loved it. I was like, who is Flannery O'Connor? I have to know more. I have to read more. I've never looked back since. I read her novels. I've read her short stories. She's great, and I've enjoyed reading her ever since. And in fact, one of my best friends is a high school teacher, and he's told me that every year he reads his students out loud. A Good Man Is Hard to Find to them, and every year they love it, which is an anecdote that I love hearing, so I thought I'd share it. And I just think that's so impressive. I think it's so impressive that Flannery O'Connor was able to write a short story that even today, for a group of high schoolers in 2025, they still get a lot of enjoyment out of it. I mean, I think that's just incredible. And I think that Flannery O'Connor deserves all of the flowers that she gets just based on that alone. But outside of that, I happen to really enjoy her novels as well. And I wanted to read something. I don't know how many people know about this. There's this book called The Presence of Grace, which is a collection of Flannery O'Connor's book reviews. It's a little bit strange because some of the book reviews in here are extremely short, and I have no idea why the editors of the publication that she was writing for gave her so little space to write reviews. But regardless, this book opens with a snippet from one of the letters that Flannery O'Connor wrote to one of her friends, and she says in here, "I sent you a bulletin in which it appears I not only review, but am reviewed. I am grateful to the reviewer of my book, as I have a slew of old lady friends, bulletin readers all, who have been patiently waiting for these many years for me to get enough rope to hang myself with. They never supposed there was a Catholic influence at work in the nasty little stories. This will not change any opinions, but it will give them pause." And yeah, I mean, that's, I think, a great sort of summation of who Flannery O'Connor was, because obviously there is a huge Catholic influence in everything that she wrote, but her stories are so, nasty, as she says, that sometimes that can get obscured. They really are depressing in a lot of ways, and they are extremely violent. I mean, violence is obviously alluded to in the title here, and this book is violent. There's a murder in it. There are plenty of things that I don't want to spoil, but it is definitely a pretty gruesome book at times, and it's all worth it, to me at least, because Flannery O'Connor is a fantastic author. She's just a great writer, and she's extremely creative, which I think is what makes her so special, is the fact that she has just this wonderful imagination that is constantly working and coming up with inventive and creative ways to tell the stories that she wants to tell. You always get a sense when you're reading Flannery O'Connor that she's going someplace very specific, maybe even too specific, because it doesn't seem like there's a plurality of readings that are acceptable for her fiction. It feels like there's one read, there's one take, and everything else is incorrect. But regardless, even though I don't share Flannery O'Connor's outlook on the world at all, I still like reading it because I think that she does such a good job of executing on that vision, executing on the way that she sees the world. For example, as I alluded to before, there is a murder in this book, and I'm pretty sure that Flannery O'Connor thinks of it as more than just a murder, but I don't. I think it's just a murder. Regardless, even though when I first read the novel, I was much more in line with Flannery O'Connor's thinking, I still enjoyed it going back to it today because Flannery O'Connor is a great novelist and her writing is so tremendous, and she just has a unique perspective and a unique way of capturing life on the page, which is very agreeable to me. And I really love the way that she implores some, storytelling techniques in here that leave you with, that basically she just plunges you into the book. She just plunges you into it. She sets up these scenarios for you as you go along and then slowly pulls back the curtain, starts revealing where people were, what created the situations that you're reading about. And I think that novelistic strategy works out tremendously in this novel's favor. The fact that you don't really understand who's who or what's what in the novel, but as it unfolds and as it goes on, these questions start to get answered slowly but surely. And she works in those answers through flashbacks that she works into, contemporary moments and scenes that are happening in real time. And she weaves those in and out so perfectly that you never get confused. Somehow, in some weird alchemy, she's able to make it so that the action of the present day story is woven in to the action of the flashback, that you can really differentiate between the two. But they also work in this really amazing, contrast, juxtaposition with each other, that I just think is so impressive. So, anyway, I could gush about Flannery O'Connor for a long time. I don't plan on doing that today. I just wanted to let you know that this novel, in addition to Wise Blood, is really worth your time. I think I really enjoyed reading it. And I enjoyed reading it when I first read it back in my freshman years of college, and I enjoy reading it now. And I will continue to enjoy reading Flannery O'Connor probably for the rest of my life. So that's it for me today. Thank you, BookTube.